together, get through whatever. For worse or better, when the lights go down, you and me together, there's nothing better.
Hello guys, and welcome to Till Vacuum Do Us Part. We're gonna jump straight into today's video. If you're watching the clips on the screen, I'm showing you that the whole house was painted white. Some of these rooms are super dark just because they had taped off the windows so the glass wouldn't get paint on it. But I'm just so impressed what like new baseboards and new paint will do, and that's some project that almost any of us can do. We can rip off old boards, put new ones on, and paint a room, and it really does update it so much. It makes it so much brighter. This house was so dark when we found it, and we don't even have electric in it yet, or it's not turned on right now. And it's already so much brighter. So keep that in mind if you're working on a project in your space or your current home. Maybe you're wanting to brighten it up. Maybe you're wanting to update it a little bit. We are obviously doing a full gut on this Airbnb, but it does not take much just to see a huge impact. And I always feel like decluttering, cleaning, and then painting are the way to go. So I'm trying to show you some just clips. We go by there almost every single day, and I try to film what's going on. So it has been a wild ride, but here's how things are looking on this particular day.
When the lights go down, you and me together, there's nothing better. It's now or never. Make it through somehow. Make it through somehow.
And here are the kitchen cabinets. This makes this house feel more like a home again. Not having a kitchen, or it looked like we didn't have a kitchen because we had ripped everything out. And then I got really nervous that we had bought too many cabinets and it was really gonna close the space off, but I feel like it's perfect. I don't know if you guys remember the space when we first got it, but there was hardly any storage, and what there was, it was all on the right side. There was hardly anything on the left other than like the stove and microwave. So I feel like we just balanced it out so much better now. Plus that wall's down, so if someone's cooking at the stove, they can still be a part of the conversation. And since we added the peninsula, it's also gonna add additional seating to what's already like a cozy little dining room. So I am so happy with the results so far. As you can see, we got the vanity in the bathroom as well. It's just all coming together. You know, you have this vision and you're talking with your contractors of like what you want, but you don't know if they're understanding. I'm trying to show as many pictures as possible, and then we're having to like custom order everything because the house is just smaller, so we don't want like doors to hit it, but I want it as big as we can handle. So it's just so nice to start seeing the progress of it, and that the decisions we were making early on are benefiting us now. So it's so exciting. Now we're gonna move on to Chase. He was putting our gutters back on. The painters had taken them off to paint and they hadn't made it over to come put them back on. And this was just like a day before we had like a week of rain. So we definitely wanted to get those back on. The house had water issues when we bought it, which we've fixed all those problems, but we definitely didn't want to cause any more. So Chase spent the day it was like a puzzle trying to figure out which gutter went where, because they like took them all off and put them in the middle of the yard. But I think he finally figured it out. And then here is the shiplap wall in the kids' bedroom, and it's all painted white now, so it's starting just to flow a lot more. And as you can see right here, when I say the space is so much brighter, it's getting so much brighter because there's no ceiling lights in these rooms as of now. The further this house gets finished or along in the process, the more I just want to keep it to myself. It's just fun having like a second house, like 30 minutes away from our house. You guys know we're like out in the country, so there's not like a ton around us. So when we come to this house, it's just more trendy. There's lots of new restaurants. There's fun things to do. So I definitely cannot wait to make memories in this house, and I just can't wait to enjoy it and just see what memories it brings. Okay, we're back at the house again today. I was going to show you the tile. I don't know if I showed this yet. I'm getting so lost with all these little updates. This is definitely going to be the last one though. But this is the tile we picked for the little nook going out into the garage / laundry room. I really like this. It's a very small area, so it's going to be a little busy, but like I said, it's like super, super small. And then I showed you guys the bathroom and then the backsplash. It's actually been raining here in Oklahoma, so I don't have to water today, which is amazing because I have to water every time I'm over here. Maybe we'll start to get grass one day. But supposedly they were going to work on the cabinets, start painting them, but let's see if they actually did. So right here is where the tile's going to go. So it's a tiny little area, but I think it'll be super fun to have right here going out into the garage. They didn't do anything. They lied. It happens. But we actually found wood floor. I even took my camera and completely forgot to film. It makes me so mad. We found some planks that somebody was tearing out of their house. And we showed up and nobody was home, and they told us to just go inside. They were doing a reno, so nobody was there and like everything was taken out. But we picked out some boards. I'll show you here in a second. Chase is gonna bring them in. But it was really creepy being in somebody's empty house, just picking out boards. But we're gonna bring them in and see. The color may be off, so we may have to work on it, but we're hoping our builder or contractor can like somehow fill that in. All the windows are back, not open, but they're not blocked. This is like covered in plastic, but for some reason, this is the space I'm just most excited about. I think it's just because it's turning into something completely different. Like it was, you know, a nice walk-in closet, but now it's gonna be a really cool kid's bedroom. And it's like it was set up for it, if you ask me. Like both outlets are in the perfect spots. The window, so I can put like 2 twin beds, a nightstand, I don't know. When I saw it, I was like, this is definitely an extra bedroom that we're gonna use. Okay, Chase is bringing in a few pieces of wood. We got quite a few because we wanted to have, obviously, too much than not enough. And then we wanted older wood. Like we didn't want to go buy new pieces just because the floor currently is what, 82 years old?
Yeah.
So we didn't want something brand new. Now the coloring we are gonna have to stain probably a little bit darker.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell because our floor's so dirty.
This is gonna clean up quite a bit and go back to its original brownish red. But yeah.
And it is. It's gonna be like under the bar stools here. It's never gonna be perfect, so if you come visit this house, do not judge me, but
it is the perfect height.
Good.
3/4 of an inch.
So it's gonna be flush. That's the main thing I wanted. I didn't want it to be taller or shorter than the other floor. The coloring, if we have to work with, we will. But that's woo,
slides right in.
Perfect.
Just have to cut this.
So we're gonna have plenty.
Yeah.
We bought like what, 13
Yeah,
boards?
look how that slides in.
Yeah.
I'll have to fix that gap, but it goes pretty well.
Yay! This is one of those areas that kind of kept us up at night. We didn't know what we were gonna do. So hopefully when it's installed and everything's cleaned up and decorated, only you guys that watch this will know. But other visitors coming, hopefully they won't notice. You guys will have a little secret on me. So they're probably gonna come straight to this and be like, yeah, they did okay.
Don't look under the bar.
Yeah, just look at everything else that's pretty. Ah, it's slowly getting better. There is a few areas in the house that are gonna take some work. Basically, what happens when you don't sand something that's smooth before you paint, it's all fine until it's not. And see how this doesn't even stick to it? You can just like, look at that, that's paint. So they're gonna have to get this off this entire fireplace before we can paint it. So while Chase is working here, I'm just doing our contractor some favors. Savvy is too, she finds it a little satisfying. But if you're ever gonna paint, be sure to sand it a little bit if you don't want this issue, especially if it's like a permanent piece.
Time stops when we're alone. You got my love, don't let it go. Feels like we're paper thin, one step away from caving in.
Anytime you're paying somebody to work on your house and you're on a tight budget or just on a budget in general, do all the work that you possibly can because it's going to save you so much money. This isn't a hard project, but however many hours it would have taken his crew to work on it, we would have been charged for that. I was sitting at the house anyways where Chase was working on other things, and it really did not take Chase and Savannah and me very long to get this off. So it saved us money, it saved our builder time. Plus, I could tell every time we were over there, he was like dreading it. He's getting everything else done but this fireplace, and the way he talked about it, it was just something he would fix for us, but he was putting it like on the back burner. And it was something so simple that me and Savannah can work on. So if you're like flipping a house or working on your home, you can even prep those areas for the person you're paying, and it will typically save you money because it's less work they have to do. Another reason I like to do this as well is every time we're sitting on the sofa one day when this house is finished and we're looking at this fireplace, we have a memory that all of us worked on this together. So if we have this house 1 year, 10 years, 50 years, whatever it is, I hope my grandbabies visit me in this house one day. We can all sit back and say, hey, when your mommy was little, she helped us work on this fireplace. It just creates so many memories. It creates an attachment to the house. This house has so many stories we don't know about, but we're getting to put our own stories into it. So anytime you can do something with your own hands, I highly suggest it. I know some of you guys are busy and you have huge budgets, go for it. But if you can just do a few little touches yourself, I promise you, it just gets you a little more attached to your home.
It's lost, we can count on hope, and there's rivers to cross, so and I know our lives will always change, but our hearts forever stay the same.
So I've shared this over on Instagram in a post, but I haven't really got to talk about it here much, and I'll make it short. But we've lived in a lot of brand new houses, but this is our first like really old home, and I feel like both have so many good things about them. There's something nice about moving into a brand new clean house, but there's something about living in a home that there's so many stories, there's so many memories. I wonder how many kids were raised in this house, how many first dates were on our front porch with our beautiful door. I don't know, I just love the feeling this house brings into our life because it's something we've never really had.
Time stops when we're alone. You got my love, don't let it go.
It's definitely not perfect, but we got, would you say like 95% of it off? You can tell like this is like a tanny cream and the white's right here. So it's just the top a little bit. These edges we're not gonna touch. I'm gonna let the contractor or the builder, because I don't wanna mess up the wall that we just spent all this money fixing. And then the bottoms, but that at least got them started. Like I said, it's like 95% done. So if we're back by here another day, I'm sure we'll do the same thing and get the rest of it off, but I am getting a little hot inside this house. Once again, back to any project you can do is going to save you money. So we bought this new outside light. It's a dawn dust light. I put light bulbs in like this at our current house, but this light does it on its own. But when it's dark, it's gonna turn on, and when it's bright, it's gonna turn off. I really wanted lights like that at the Airbnb since we won't be there to turn them on and off. But yeah, any project you can do, save money. So Chase is going to be installing all the lights, all the fans, all the new outlets, all the new doorknobs, everything like that. We're going to do on our own just to bring that reno bill down as much as possible because it's growing at a very, very fast pace. Okay guys, we just got to the house and this is gonna be like our last time walking through this house as an update because everything else I'm gonna be putting into like room makeover videos. But the cabinets are in, you guys saw that from a few days ago, but they're painted white now. So I wanted to go ahead and let you guys see them. They're like scattered. So like they're hung, but all the doors are off, but I just want you guys to see what it's looking like. It is already so much brighter in here. The walls are white, the ceilings are white, the trim's white, the cabinets are white. I'll show you what still has to be done, but I can't wait to see it once they like take the floor paper off so I can see it with like the wood floors. It's going to be beautiful, but let me stop talking and show you the kitchen. So this is what it looks like when you walk in. So I think it was the last scene I showed you guys us scraping this. Chase came over yesterday and got the rest of it done, so it's ready to go. I think they may go ahead and spray it white with everything else. If not, either way, I think I'm gonna be painting it black just to make it stand out. But here's like all the drawers. Thank goodness for paper down on our wood floors because they're spray painting in here. Here is all the doors, and then the kitchen. It looks so good. Typically when I'm showing you something, it's brighter on the screen than it is in real life, but it's actually brighter in person. I know the lighting is just a little off, but look how good this is looking. Let me go with this angle. I think it's gonna be so pretty. All the appliances have been ordered and they're ready to deliver them. We're just waiting to get everything else finished up. It's gonna look so good with like the white backsplash, and then I'm gonna have wood elements. We're gonna have a really cool light and a sink. Back here, I just don't remember what I've told you guys or not, so if I'm repeating this, I'm sorry. We're gonna be doing like the tile all the way up right here. This is gonna be like our coffee bar area. So we're gonna put an outlet over here so we can have like a coffee maker, but it's looking so good. You guys can see the shed out there. They still haven't painted that, so they'll have to come paint the shed at some point. The deck's still looking really good. I'll take you into the other rooms. We can see if they've worked on anything else. Now let's move on to this side of the house. They're not painting this guy because we're gonna actually have it stained. I guess I probably need to pick a color, but we're just waiting for the doors to get done. So as soon as they're done in here, like using these to paint, they're gonna clean up, put the doors on, and then we are going to start decorating. So I keep saying it's gonna be like this week, and then they don't show up. So they haven't been here in a while. Well, they finally did to paint the cabinets, but they hadn't been in like 8 days. So hopefully they can get all that taken care of because I am so ready to start sharing decorating videos. It is so soon. Like I said, this is gonna be the very last just reno update. We finally had internet put in, we have cable in, so it looks like a hot mess, but it's definitely like starting to come together, and decorating is gonna be super easy for the most part. So this is it. Oh, another thing I was gonna show you guys as well, everybody mentioned putting a phone back in here since that's what it was originally created for. And so I looked up like with the year of the house, the type of phone that was here, and everything I found was this type of phone. So we'd been on the hunt for it. We finally found one at like, it was like an antique store, right? It doesn't fit. So it's like, I don't know what type of phone was supposed to go here, or if they've like redone this since the house was, or I don't know, maybe they had it hanging over. Surely not. Maybe they've made this shorter because there must have been a place to plug this in, but that's not gonna work. So moving on to plan B. I did want to show you one more thing. We have kind of been working on the flower beds. So we did the flower beds and then they painted the house, and there was like paint all on the edge. We came over here and worked on this, and I totally forgot my camera, so I didn't get to film it. And then they had like cleaned out their paint buckets here. You can see where I still haven't got to. It's a lot wider, but I've been like raking this up. You guys told me, I think it was called preen or something, but to sprinkle it in the flower beds and it helps with weeds. So we put that in. If you look really closely, there's like little bitty yellow like pebble type thing. So thank you for that suggestion. Our neighbors are getting brick and stone. It's looking so pretty over there. Every time we come, we get to see their house and ours. So yeah, the flower beds are looking good. We're gonna have to figure out like the grass situation. We've still got the posts to work on, the shutters, a lot of stuff out here, like mailbox lighting. But I just wanted to kind of show you how it was coming together. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this one here, but thank you guys so much just for hanging out with us during this reno process. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. It's been really fun, and really stressful for us. There's just a lot of moving parts. I feel like I rarely get on Instagram now. Like, I'm on there to make posts and to comment and answer messages, but I'm not just like on there talking all day long. This house has taken like so much out of us, but I know it's gonna be so worth it when like everything's done and completed and it's decorated. A part of me like hopes it books out, and then the other part of me is like, no, I hope it just books out a few weekends so we can like enjoy it. So if it books out, it'll be nice to share it with you guys and just everybody around here. If it doesn't, it's totally gonna be my second home. So it's been so fun. But thank you guys so much for watching. Be on the lookout for the decorating videos. I promise you they're coming very soon. I'm so ready to get to that point. But I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Come in, say hi, hit the bell so I know I'll see you next time.